Welcome. This is Barry Jones from the Angel School, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for October 28th through November 3rd, 2019. So before I begin, I want to let everyone know that the live chat or the angel chat with me will be on November 9th, which I think is a Saturday. If the date is wrong, it's the Saturday of that weekend at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so we'll just go with that and see how that kind of unfolds for everyone. And I'll let you know more if there are any other changes that may come up about that. So look forward to having that opportunity to sort of speak with everyone and just start off with some of the questions that people have already sent in. And again, this is just, to just have community, to discuss your spiritual practice, to ask me questions about my practice or any kind of things that you really want to talk about. You can send questions ahead of time. I'm not sure if I'll get to all of them. Some may just end up really focusing on one or two of the questions because it may be just sort of a big topic, but it'll be an hour just to start. We'll see. So hope to see you there. So let's take a deep breath together and really connect in with our I am presence. And you can just really think to yourself, I am. Just to confirm that connection. And just allow yourself to rest in the space of your heart, in that alignment of pure love and unconditional love. And know that your angels, I'm seeing angel wings, and they're expanding. And as the angel wings expanded, an entire circle of angels are surrounding you. And it's in the Master, Jesus is coming through. And it feels like there is a powerful alignment happening for you. And in your intuition. And this is kind of an interesting vision, but it's almost like a pole, like, the firehouse, and it sort of leads right up, and all the angels are surrounding you, and it leads up into the third eye, into your higher self. And not seeing anything by going up and down, but it just reminds me of this. And so the imagery, I'm trying to sort of get a sense of what that meaning is about. And this is a new vision for me. So it could be a connection or between your higher self, your intuition, and what's going on here with you in your day-to-day life. And it feels like a way for resources or help, assistance to come down. So like when the firemen, prepare for an emergency that comes up, and they, go down this thing to quickly get into place and to head out. And so maybe in this way, your intuition, your higher self, your guidance is going to really be sort of on call for you in this week, readily available, and it's sort of pouring out light, a stream of light to assist you. And all you got to really do is, they show me sort of a finger, is just the pointer finger, just to sort of tap into that, reach out. You know, it's almost like you could take your if you're going to dial or push a button to, you know, say, oh, I need help. And so, you know, to pray for clarity, because what does the third eye represent is the clear sight. And so you may need a lot of support in seeing things clearly in this week. And, you know, it's very easy to get caught up in the drama or the stress or the tension of what's going on around you. And we forget to seek out our inner clarity, our inner wisdom, to give us perspective on how we should handle or engage the situation that's for the best and highest good of ourselves and everyone else. So it's almost like don't jump to conclusions. Don't jump to the conclusions of the ego first. Sort of press that intuition button and say, I need clarity here. Show me. And don't do anything until you let your intuition give you the clearer perspective. So even though it may seem like you just have to, you know, jump in and fix it, that it's calling you to throw yourself in, you know, for you to go in and rescue. They're asking you actually to call upon your higher self for the perspective that you need, or the approach that you need to help assist. So you're being called upon to ask for assistance before you assist. Because you may find that it's not your role to assist in this situation. That it may be someone else's role. And, you know, the writing the word reform, I saw this power reform before I started, and I'm seeing the word reform again. And I think this is something for all of us as light workers. We always think, you know, that we have to come to the rescue right away. And this is where we don't, because we feel everything and we're always connected, that it seems like we think everything is for us to solve or resolve. And it's not. And this is where you find yourself leaking power, because you're constantly engaging your energy in everyone else's energy and everything that comes up. And then you get so used to doing this that every little thing in your own life that goes on, every little detail that happens around you that crops up, becomes this whole big epic, I gotta fix this, I gotta heal this, you know, every little thing. And so you're constantly being distracted by whatever drama you're, you know, that's creating around you, or drama that's going on in other people's lives. And so you're sort of on this, you're always on call, but never really for your own goals and your purpose. And this is the power reform that they want you to consider and implement. Now, I've seen this angel number 100 twice at the very beginning before I started talking about the upcoming angel chat. And I saw this beautiful, you know, tree that's broad, you know, very old trunk. And so that's always a good connection about having a strong and very long-standing connection. And this angel number message says, 100 says, this is a strong message from God telling you that your positive thoughts are necessary to co-create the outcome you desire. So this is about you, this is about you already having everything that you need. You have the connection, but you got to not let yourself get distracted by negative things. And I don't know, when I said that negative, it's almost, I want to think of it more scientifically than good versus evil, or that you're doing a wrong versus right. It's really about not looking at energy in that way, but just looking at energy that supports and energy that does not support. And you knowing when to choose the energy, being able to observe it and knowing that you have a choice, and to make the choice that supports you rather than the one that may not be supportive. It may distract. So maybe think of support versus distraction, which in distraction, dispersing. And dispersing probably goes into something else, right? Just disperse. I think the outcome of that would be a loss of purpose, a loss of momentum, and then purpose. And then you're just left with this sort of blank space, which usually we create or interpret it as disappointment, where what it really is this void that is really potential. Because when there's sort of, we feel like there's nothing going on, there's always potential in that sort of blank space. So either way, you see this negative and positive, they both end up leading sort of back to potential, or in the positive leading to more potential, right? You're going to end up there either way. So it's not bad, right or wrong, or good or evil. But you just want to think about what energy is supporting you and what is distracting you, and make the choices that support you. This going sort of back to what we were talking about last week about focusing on what you deserve. So now, what do you deserve and what supports you? This is positive versus negative, okay? And if you end up going into negative and it, distracts, disperses, etc., to ultimately leaving this void, then in that void, there's going to be a light. Like it was almost like you got lost in a forest and it was so pitch black dark that all of a sudden at the, far reaches, you would see this little light like a star. And the closer you follow it, not being able to see anything in front of you, the light becomes brighter and clearer, and you recognize that it's maybe a campfire, and that maybe some guide, maybe even you, your higher self, is sitting there ready, been waiting for you to give you the information after you got over allowing yourself to be distracted. Okay? So again, I just want to look at this because I feel like with this number and this understanding now, and then this number has a completely different meaning. This is a strong message from God telling you that your positive thoughts are necessary to co-create the outcome you desire. And know that word desire is there, and we didn't say it was a negative word, but we were just looking at deserving as feeling like something slightly more in alignment, right? And now the word support. So think of positive thoughts as thoughts that are supportive, choices that are supportive. And those, as you start choosing the things that you deserve and the things that support you, you automatically are able to create the outcome the outcome will come to you. Maybe one that you're expecting or something better will come because you're choosing what you deserve, and you're choosing support. Through that choice, you're choosing support around you. You're attracting support around you, the support you deserve. Okay. So let's take a look at the card for the theme of this week from the archangels and see what message is coming up. Okay, Archangel Jeremiel. And the message on this card is all is well. Okay, so it says everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to. With hidden blessings you will soon understand. And it really feels like they're trying to get you to ease up a little bit. You know, you're not taking your foot off the pedal, but you don't have to sort of feel like you have to press hard in order for you to really be getting any action. You know? And also that you don't, that all is well because your intention is always to succeed. You intend to do good. You intend to go after what you deserve, and you intend to make decisions that are supportive. You don't intend to get distracted and be caught up in drama and to perceive things that create anxiety or stress for you. You don't intend to perceive the world in this way. You intend to live your life with integrity. And because you do want this naturally, you don't have to work so hard to maintain that. What you just need to pay attention to, so don't, again, getting off of this evil, good, right, wrong, I'm co-creating and I could make some huge mistakes if I think that thought kind of thing. All is well. Everything is going in the direction that it should. Every thought that's passing through your mind is happening as it should. It's, again, and when I say this, think about this like science in a way, but it's in divine science, because what I mean by that there's that divinity of intelligence, and those thoughts, and you are not separate from this at all. The idea that we think of ourselves as separate from or other than is, how do I want to say this? But to have that conversation is, in one respect, the most unique experience that can, in terms of consciousness, the most unique experience in terms of consciousness that can happen in the entire universe. To consider that you might be something other than what Source is, than what God is. Because God, from his perspective, and that's why when we think of the divine or God or whatever you call it, we think of it as perfection. And the perfection is because it does not see imperfection, that is to say, something that is not equal to it, or that something that could be inferior or less than, or that it is superior. God, or whatever you call this power, supreme power, does not recognize other. But we do, and yet we can't put ourselves down because we do. But I want to put it in the sense that it is unique. And because it's unique, it provides a rare opportunity within the entire consciousness of the universe. And the universe is oneness. And that what we do here, because of the way we are created, because of the way the dimensions line up as we come into this dimension in order to be able to have this thing called duality. This is rare and special and unique. And that you question and that you have thoughts that are contrasting to supportive or deserving, that are in contrast to that supreme power that may contradict. And because they flow through your mind, and that's why I was getting to this point about this science, that interaction of the contrast is a beautiful and new form and unique, rare form of perfection. We call it imperfection because we see through our world, religions and spirituality, we see good, evil, right, wrong, rightly so, because it's three-dimensional thinking. And it serves a purpose, and that's the point I'm getting at. And so technically all is well. Whether you can't keep your thoughts, quote unquote, positive, or your thoughts are negative, or you're a complainer, all is well. You have not taken yourself out of the perfection of God's perception. And it is unique and special when you do contrast, because that contrast creates new possibilities. So leading edge realities, possibilities, opportunities, as in innovative. This part of being in this dimension and being what we probably think is something of a lesser vibration and a lesser consciousness, it is so uniquely and equally powerful because of its contrast to that which we consider supreme divine. But this is something that is not experienced at any other point in this supreme consciousness. And so you see, it's like this explosive dynamic that seems to be disruptive from one perspective or another. But when you consider what is allowed to happen and what is created, it is extraordinary in its own right. And so do not deny yourself. Do not, I don't want to say this. Don't demote yourself for being who you are, because it has purpose. It has an extraordinary purpose that it serves when contrasting thoughts bump against into one another. They create new desires of alignment. They create new goals and dreams and opportunities. And that's what we're really getting at. And so all is well. So don't beat up yourself about how you are faring in terms of, what you want to create in your life, and thinking, I'm making my life worse because I can't stop, being that way. Okay? You're not. It may take you down a different path, sort of like the road not taken, But, and so it's not been worn, has no wear, so there's more discovery, more exploration, more unexpected, more unknowns than the road that has been traveled the most. There's a lot, people leave a lot of, let's say, imprints of impressions, opinions, and somebody could say, oh yeah, when you go on that road, do this, this, and this, because there's all this, that, on that, and so there's less experimentation and less openness, because so much is already being laid out for you. You can find markers, many markers, because people would have left markers on that road, and it'll draw you in, but you're just drawing you into what they learned and what they experienced, instead of going on the road less traveled. And it seems harder because there's no markers and there's nothing. There's no wear on the ground, and no, people seem to be staying on. They didn't veer off, but many people go this way, because you can see the footprints. You get what I'm trying to say. And so it's not negative because it's less traveled. It's unique. And that's what you are. And if you can see your journey in this way, then you'll feel like you're making fewer mistakes. And when you think that you're making mistakes, then you're not being supportive and you don't feel very worthy or deserving. And it's not what those choices are, but it's how they make you feel. That is the real battle, the real thing that throws you off. It's like it makes you just, collapse to the ground, and then you don't get up and you can't go anywhere. It's how you interpret things that you have to be aware of because of how it makes you feel. And once you feel a certain way about something that you're perceiving, that's when it can seem difficult for you. And seem is really the word, because it really isn't. It just seems that way because of how you've bought into how you've pieced the information together through a particular consciousness of ego or your higher self. And so they want you to call on your higher self for that clarity, and it'll come down like the firemen and help you. So really pray for clarity. And before you take action, wait for your higher self to give you that insight and guidance. All right. So let's take a look at the card for the beginning of the week. All right. And not a wonderful card here. I'm sorry, I don't know if I should do this, but it's just bothering me a little bit now. How things is sort of a little off. Yeah. All right, so we start off with this very good card, the 10 of Water. And I'm just getting something about family with this card. That this feeling of needing to pay attention to some things in the dynamics of your family. Now, your family could be, obviously this is a suit about love and relationships, and your family could really shift. So your family could be at your job, or your family could be a group of people you hang out with socially, whether they're like a spiritual social group or a group that goes out and have fun, But this is about your family, okay? And what I'm sort of getting is an appreciation for that family, that supportive family. And I think that you may need to really connect with that family, connect with that support. So when I think about family and replace that word family with the word support system for a moment, just think of family as support. And who, do you feel support is your support? And at the same time, at the beginning when I saw this, you want to make sure, this is going back to what we were saying in the beginning, you want to make sure that you don't get in a panic about your family, or when they are panicked, you don't panic, along with them. Don't mirror what's going on. So you want to choose to be the mirror that they need or that you need by tapping into your higher self, because that When you do that, when you tap into your higher self, then your mirror, the mirror that you become, is a mirror of support and value and worth. And this is the power reform you want to extend to your family or your support group. You want to extend this to the people that you call family, not by blood, but by right, by divine right. And you can be the support for yourself and to them. And this is going to take courage. Now I saw that word a little bit earlier, and I understand why. It's going to take courage because, you know, you may want to go with them into the drama instead of holding the clarity, the space of clarity that they need to pull themselves out of that drama. You know, do you get that? It's like the universe, that going back with that pole, rescue pole. So the universe is, you call on the universe for clarity, they give you the clarity. And what you need to do is hold that and then let the person choose to pull themselves out with that cord or that pole of clarity. Don't go into the drama. Don't go jumping in and not knowing what you're getting into. And then the help you give becomes a distraction. It doesn't support, meaning you don't learn from it as well. Like when I do this is helping, but I am always learning. It's an equal opportunity experience for me. And it has to be the same for you as a healer, light worker in what you do. All right. So let's take a look at the card for the middle of the week. All right. So we have the Page of Earth. And pages are about something that's new and developing for you. So what I'm getting a sense right away is that this is going to give you, as you learn to do this, right? This power reform, it's going to shift your abundance quota. So, because once you are not leaking energy, dispersing energy any further, so when you're no longer distracted, so we're going to use those two comparatives, distraction and support. When you're no longer distracted, now you can be more resourceful or be a revenue or avenue for resourcefulness. You have more energy. You have more focus, more creativity. And this is probably going to be the toughest part about the transition is, when you're not allowing yourself to be distracted and always all your thoughts are going there. Now, some people may experience what do I do with myself? So you really need to be aware of why you deserve to, reform in this way. And when you think about why you deserve this, it's because there are goals and projects and things and that are really important to you. And those should become your focus. And so that you don't have that, now what am I going to do with myself kind of thing. It may happen, and it may take a while for some people to get past that. But start thinking about, how can I support myself better in the life that I'm living? Where can I start to implement supports underneath these certain conditions that are unstable? And it doesn't have to be anything grandiose. I almost want to say, please don't start making huge plans, especially in this kind of transition, because you will weaken your resolve. Just think of, all right, this is unstable, and I just want to put some support underneath that. Where can I start where I can feel successful, and better, more easily. And then as you see yourself being able to do that, then you can start to amp up the plans and your ideas. But you wanna start off with a curiosity, right? And a desire for with the page of Pentacles, you're thinking about material manifestation, wanting to now, sort of create something. This is not the right words. I can feel it, the words, but I can't hear it say it. It's weird, but it's like, here's now where you really want to start to build something. You want to build something and say, yeah, I did this, but it's not just to say I did it, but because you want to build it because you feel like it's going to really be something valuable. So like a coin, like a pentacle, you want it to be like something valuable, something that has value, something that doesn't decrease in value once you create it. You want to leave something that's long lasting. And so it's a combination of an ideal and a product, something you want to begin to lay the groundwork for, to leave behind, that's something that's of lasting value, and that something that will give meaning and support to your life, reinforce meaning and support in your life every time. I don't know if that makes sense to you. All right, so let's take a look at the card for the end of the week. Interesting. 9 of Earth. I've had this card come up a lot in this week. And so this really tells us that you're also looking to feel more independent, that you're looking for success in terms of independence, that you have comfort, that you want to be in a place where you can enjoy opportunities whenever they come up, that you don't have to think about whether or not you can do this, that you have enough support underneath you. So this may indicate, as this card usually does, it indicates to a lot of people that of some kind of employment that is self-employment or self-sufficiency or self-efficiency. Maybe somebody's particular area, they may have the sufficiency part, but not the efficiency part. And in getting self-efficiency, I just saw the word, what was it? I just saw it. This is not what I think I saw, but you have more comforts, you have more comfortability in your life. But so it's that you mean, when you see this card, we think about money, but, not being efficient, having enough self-efficiency causes you not to feel successful. And for some people, they may have the money or they may not have a lot, but they are just good with the way life, with that, how life is, but they don't feel efficient enough. And like they don't feel like that they know how to handle things. And building towards that, start to put those supports in, like by not allowing your energy to get dispersed all the time, and knowing that what the choices you're making are supportive and healthy and deserving of you, builds this sense, this kind of confidence in yourself of self-efficiency, and it enables trust in yourself, and you start living in an alignment with the integrity of your soul. And that's huge that's a huge piece. Just think about all the things that will attract to that without you having to work so hard, as we were talking about at the beginning. So very, very important concept. All right, let's take a look at the card I already pulled from the bottom of the deck. It's the Ace of Fire. And so this card, talks about one is about this new beginning. It's potential, because it's not anything right now. It's something, but it's not defined. It could go either way. It can go negative or positive. It could be something that, and this is not in the terms that I'm talking about before, but it could disperse in different many ways, or it could go all together in one direction, sort of focus or channeled. So, it's energy, and this energy has all kinds of potential. Ways it could be used. It could be split up or kept together. And this feels like something you need to think about, like how you want to use your energy. Do you want to put it a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there? Or do you want to channel it all into one detail or one goal and build momentum and get that going? And then you may want to make decisions like this, similar to this again. But the thing is that you have this energy, and now you're focusing on how you want to use it. So dispersion is not a bad thing if it's selected. Is it selective, meaning you've chosen and you have a clear intentions for each direction or investment that you are considering. So this is not a weakness. It's, again, words have multiple meanings, just like you are multifaceted. And this is the ability that you always have. You can reform your power by rebranding or reframing the context of what you're trying to do, or looking at it from a different perspective, looking at the situation from a different perspective. This is why we shouldn't just jump in, rush in without connecting in with our higher self and seeking out that clarity of the highest good, the highest purpose, the highest path, the highest decision, opportunity for you. And that's really what the overall message is in this week, is for you to do this for yourself, to apply this. All right, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and thank you for joining us this week. And if you're looking for an angel reading, feel free to contact me at theangelschool.com. On the services page where you can find the different readings that would suit you. If you like what happens in these videos and how we look at the information and the reading, and how there are tools that come up that can help, we can identify things for you, that patterns and ways that you can help you to shift your perspective so that you can relinquish yourself from that pattern that may not be deserving of you any longer. And that can be something we work on a sort of long-term with the Divine Roadmap coachings. So just think about that, all right? And don't forget to join us for the Facebook page, Daily Card Messages, as well as don't forget about the live angel chat coming up on November 9th at 7 p.m. And one of the questions I think that someone mentioned that I'm really definitely want to start with is, someone asked me about the cards that I'm using, and that there was Doreen Virtue's cards and why I'm still using it. And I never spoke about that, and that's something I think I'm definitely going to speak about on the first chat. But I want to go where people want to go, but it is a question that someone presented to me. So have a beautiful week, everyone, and God bless you all.